very good morning to you, our listener, and welcome to the People's Debate program today on Pan-African Radio 29th June in the beauty of the Niger 2020. My name is Caesar Sindele, and we also wish to inform you that you can watch this interview via our Facebook page, which is Pan-African Radio 96.1 FM. In the studio, I have the privilege to host State Council Wynter Kabimba, who is General Secretary of the Opposition Rainbow Party Council.
Good morning, Caesar, and good morning, listeners.
We are very fine. How is the Rainbow Party doing?
Very good. It's very healthy.
You haven't been affected in terms of mobilization
because
we are in the wake of the COVID-19.
Of course, everybody has been affected. COVID has hit everybody in every sphere of life, so it includes mobilization. So we would like to take this privilege to mobilize the Zambian people through this program. So thanks for inviting us.
You're most welcome, and I'm sure your numbers have increased in the past, in the recent times.
Yes, they keep on going up and down. You know, there are people that we call professional defectors. You know, they went to the university to get degrees just to defect from one political party to another, from one NGO to another. So they are part of the game.
How many have defected from the party?
No, very few. Very few.
But you are.
It depends on the hunger situation. So when they are too hungry, they defect.
To where?
To somewhere else where they think that they can get a bit of hungry lion patch.
Right. Otherwise,
we are okay.
That's good. We want to discuss constitutional amendment bill number 10. I know you have.
I thought you were going to avoid that topic.
No, because we informed you earlier that we'll be talking about this when we feature. Are you comfortable talking about it?
Yes.
Why do you want to run away from it?
Because I've spoken about it many times. I've canvassed Bill 10 many times.
Don't you think the best thing you can do? The best thing you can do if you don't want to talk about it is to stop talking about it already yourself. Stop.
No, it's to stop being interviewed about it. So let's talk about other things other than COVID, other than Bill 10. We can talk about COVID, you know, and the figures that are surging, you know, all over the world. And leave out Bill 10. But if the only interview you have for me is Bill 10.
That's right. So we're talking about and its way forward. The numbers you'll be calling us on are 0950-650-916 and 0974-760894. Now, I just want to take you back. In February this year, you said when you addressed your members and the public via your the Rainbow Party page, Facebook page, you said Bill 10 had polarized the nation. Do you still insist the situation is the same?
It has done more. It has polarized not only the nation, it has polarized the families, it has polarized the friends, it has polarized the church. I've got some of my very good friends that are on the other side of this debate. I've got some of my family members that are on the other side of this debate. So it's polarization is very, very deep. That's the effect that it has had. But that is good because this is a democracy. Otherwise, if all of us were to think the same, then we might as well get unit back and live under one party state again. You know what disappoints me is that I don't think that this polarization is healthy. They don't think that we should continue cross-pollinating ideas. They don't think that we should, be tolerant, with each other, with the views the divergent views that we hold. They want to be calling some of us on the other side, meaning those of us that are proponents of Bill 10. They want to be calling us names. We're supporting Bill 10 because we have been bought, even coming up with figures of that purchase. So we have become commodities because of Bill 10. But if we all just agreed, that democracy are healthy, then we'll be building a better society.
Now, what do you think is making those people interest groups?
Well, they've got their own reasons. I don't even have to think for them. They've got their own reasons. You know why they think butane is a bad legislative instrument. Just like I have my own reasons why I think that it is a good statute or it's a good bill. So we stand apart. You know, who is going to be the judge of the two groups? Posterity. So I can't sit on this side and judge the other side, and they should not sit on that side and judge me. But posterity will be the best judge. Time.
Somebody said Rainbow Party leader is a proponent of butane because he's a close friend to the head of state.
No, this is not Edgar's bill. This is not Edgar Lungu's bill. That's where people are wrong. Okay? If I'm a friend of President Lungu and I support butane, it's pure coincidence. It has nothing to do with the two. This is not President Lungu's bill. This is, in our view, as Rainbow Party, this is a bill that is intended to move us forward from Constitutional Amendment Act number 2 of 2016, which the time when it was assented to the president, we raised issues, you know, and we said that it was bad law, and it has been tested, you know, in a few areas, and it has proven, or our point has been proven that it is bad law. So when the time came that we should participate in its amendment, we thought that we, as citizens, as responsible citizens, we should do that process. And that's exactly what we have done. So we are proponents of nothing to do with the President Lungu. You know? So the simplistic view that you can bring this to that level, it's just not right. How many things have I criticized about the PF, you know, or if that is the view? When the things have gone wrong, I've said this is wrong. And when you know something is right, it is right. I can't change what is right into a wrong. Just like I can't change a wrong into a right.
You know, there are calls from some section of society that butane should be withdrawn. Parliament saw before it has withdrawn certain bills. I think in 2011 and 2019, some bills were withdrawn.
Yes.
Yes. Now, you as a lawyer, do you think it's possible to withdraw butane when it has reached second reading?
No. It is possible to withdraw a bill. I think what is not convincing are the reasons why the bill should be withdrawn. Okay? Those that are agitating for the withdrawal of the bill are not putting forward any convincing reasons. You see? I'll give you an example. I'll tell you this story happened. It's not an example, it's a true story. You know, there was a time when and I'm going to give this example. May the soul of Andrew Kashita rest in peace. There was a time when Andrew Kashita was Minister of Transport under Chiluba, and he was due to get to the Copper Belt because he had an appointment there with the president. He was to get on, I think it was Zambia Airways that time. He was due to get on the flight at 7 hours or 7:30. And he got to the airport late. The plane had taken off on time. And when he got to the airport, he told the control tower that he had an appointment with the president and they must ask the pilot to come back. And the pilot had flown up to Kabwe. And the pilot refused to come back. Okay? When I asked them, he said to me, it was too late. I was on schedule. The plane had taken off, and there was no reason why the other passengers had been inconvenienced just because one minister decided to get to the airport late. And Andrew Kachida didn't get on that flight. That's what is happening now. The Bhutan flight has taken off. It has reached Kabwe. So those that are not on the flight, even if they try to run, they can't catch up with the plane. So they don't have any convincing reasons. You recall, Caesar, that after the National Dialogue Forum, there was another platform that was created to allow those that didn't attend the National Dialogue Forum and submit their views on the constitutional making process and on Bhutan. Because at the end of the NDF, a draft bill, which was presented by the chairman of the forum, Professor Manalushi, to the Honorable Minister of Justice. And that bill was approved by all the participants, all the delegates. And it was given to Kabimba as the Minister of Justice. But because of the outcry that some people had been left out, another platform was created, i.e. the Parliamentary Select Committee. And they sent out invitations to everybody, including those of us that had participated in the National Dialogue Forum debates. So there was a second opportunity. And people still decided to stay away, which is their constitutional right. Okay? It's their constitutional right. But certainly, it is not their constitutional right to make a demand at this time that the bill must be withdrawn to suit their whims. That's not right. That's being selfish.
But they did the same even on the first time of its reading in Parliament. Some walked out of Parliament. Wasn't that the same thing?
Again, they are free. They are free to do that. They are free to do that. What they are not free to do is to inconvenience those of us that want to move forward. That freedom they don't have. They are free to walk out as many times as they want. But you can't walk out and at the same time demand that the bill be withdrawn. No. You don't want to be part of the debate.
Now let me ask you a question, State Council.
Yeah.
What significant changes will be there if Bhutan is enacted in this country?
Oh, there are many. There are many things. One of them, is that it will deal with issues like, if you remember, after the 2016 presidential election, UPND took out a petition, a presidential petition, to challenge the election of President Lungu. Under the current law, under the current constitution, that petition has to be heard within 14 days. When the 14 days elapsed, the Constitutional Court said, our hands are tied. We can't go beyond 14 days. And you recall that made UPND very unhappy. And not only UPND, but even some stakeholders thought that UPND did not get a fair hearing. Bhutan now says that period shall be extended from 14 days to 30 days. There's an issue of representation. That now you are going to have people living with disabilities being represented. The youth shall be represented. The women shall be represented. So that is progress. That's not contained in the current constitution. We also had the representation from the Bank of Zambia. They presented a paper on how the central bank can effectively discharge its functions. Those submissions were taken into account. The Bank of Zambia was happy. We had the representations or submissions from the Auditor General's office. Those submissions were taken into account. And I'm sure the Auditor General's office is happy now because they think they will discharge their functions better. There was the issue of the jurisdictional mandate of the commission that will now include them investigating financial crimes. That, I think, is also progress that has been made. So there are many areas that have been incorporated in Bill 10. Okay. I saw from Facebook somebody saying, oh no, you are saying that Bill 10 will resolve wrangles amongst the chiefdom. Yes, because what has happened now is that instead of encumbering the courts with all these chieftainship wrangles, Bill 10 is saying that that area now will be handled by the chiefs or the House of Chiefs. So the chiefs will be judges of their fellow chiefs. And it means our courts will be left free, at least, to deal with other issues that they are, that they are supposed to adjudicate on. So I can go on and on, outlining some of the advantages. But the question is this 100% document that is going to solve our problem? The answer is no.
So why do you think it's not?
No, because there's no such document in the world. Because even the United States Constitution, which we think that has stood the test of time over a period of over 200 years, has not solved all the problems of the United States. There's still a problem of gun control today, etc., etc. So we have done our best. Okay, we have done our best. And what we can't afford to do is to be taken backwards by those who think that only their best matters to forge this country.
Now, is there a specific, allotted period for a bill to be deliberated in Parliament? Does it take a month, 2 months? Because I'm hearing it has. The period has expired, so we want to get
I don't want
that from you.
I don't want to get into the semantics, of technicality, and this is how we confuse the public. Okay, I've just been listening to a program on the radio. Now I think it's Joy FM, where people are dealing with this issue. No, but it has expired, that the standing orders have powers, to extend, time, no. Look, we are not at the university, we are trying to correct the wrongs, to right the wrongs of our country. So we ought to get serious about these issues. So all that I can say is that the bill has to go through 3 stages. And it is at the second stage now where they must debate it, deal with the amendments, and vote for or against the bill. If they vote for it, it goes to the third stage or third reading. Again, you need a 2/3 majority for the bill to pass. Okay? We must have confidence, in our institutions. Like I said, on one program, I don't see how the Honorable Mr. Speaker and his team at Parliament would accept to run a process that is illegal. I don't see it. So, if this bill is still undergoing this process, it means it has met the rules of procedure in Parliament.
So should it be concluded in the current sitting of Parliament or even in the next one?
Well, the Speaker has made it clear that this bill must be concluded in this session of Parliament.
And if it doesn't get concluded, should it be deferred to the other sitting of Parliament?
Well, I'm sure they can defer it, but I think what the Speaker was saying to the Honourable Minister of Justice is, can we get on with this business and get it concluded in this session?
Now, from the Rainbow Party's standpoint, this bill has been opposed by some interest groups.
Yes.
Don't you think it can be okay for now just to settle it down, put it to rest, don't talk about it until maybe later when there's calm in the nation? There's tension now over Bill 10.
I wish you had a dictionary here. You know, would look at the definition of the word tension. Okay. I gave an example, you know, the other day, that when they were debating Brexit in the UK, which process took a period of over 2 years, you will recall, Caesar, that there was a member of Parliament who was shot dead by those that were opposing the withdrawal from that were those actually that were pro or remaining in the EU. Okay, I read a lot. I read, you know, the Guardian newspaper, you know, all the papers nowhere did I come across the word detention, that just because an MP has been shot on the streets of London because somebody didn't agree with her view, therefore there was tension in the country. You know that the Brexit issue has led to the Scottish agitating to have a second referendum, them to get out of the Union of Scotland, Wales, and England. They had the first referendum, which the majority of the Scottish thought that they should remain in the Union. They want a second referendum now, and the reason is that why should the one part of the of the UK decide to withdraw from the EU and disadvantage us? Is there any tension there? There's no tension. So let's stop misapplying words. You know, just because you and I don't agree does not mean that there is tension between you and me.
So those saying that are telling lies?
No. I don't want to use strong words like that. I just want to correct you that there is no tension.
Haven't you heard that?
I have heard it. That's why I'm saying that you are misapplying words. You are misapplying words.
Who is misapplying words?
Those of you who think that because there is disagreement, therefore there is tension. We shall always disagree. It is normal. If you disagree with your wife, it doesn't necessarily mean that there is tension in the house.
So
don't agree.
What is the description of the situation regarding Bill 10 in the country?
Divergent views. That's the situation. For and against. That's the situation. And that's normal in a democracy. But not tension. There's no tension. There's no tension.
The country is okay, united?
Oh, I'm sure. But, you know, I drove from my house up to here. Peaceful. Business, you know. So what is the tension? I haven't seen any police officers around. So what is the tension? What is it? There are no signs of civil strife. Let's deal with ideas. Let's not run away from ideas. If you have lost an argument, too bad. Try next time. If you have lost an agenda that you are peddling, too bad. Try next time. But you stop telling us, you know, because you are therefore there is tension. No, there's no tension. The church itself is divided over this matter? Is there tension in the church? The answer is no. They have continued praying. And they have continued, collecting umuturu. So what is the tension? The congregants are still get there on Saturday and Sunday. So this is simply a divergent view. You recall that on Brexit in the UK, it actually led to Theresa May being ousted from the prime ministership. Was that tension? No. They just thought they needed another leader to come and deal with this matter. And Boris Johnson came on the bandwagon, and he did a better job than Theresa May.
If you were Justice Minister today, how would you have responded to the demands to withdraw the
I would tell them the plane has reached Kabwe, it can't come back for you. You were late at the airport, forget. That's what I would tell.
So you want you intend to be enacted?
Yes. I want the intent to be enacted.
And if it's enacted, will there be no regrets? In terms of maybe as a nation we did not take time to amend the constitution.
A constitution is a living instrument, because it governs your life and my life, and our lives keep on changing, and the social conditions keep on changing. Respond to the social conditions of a society. So this is not a final document. So 2 years down the road, 6 months down the road, 10 years down the road, we can still come back and say there's 1 or 2 things that we left out, which you should include now to respond to the current situation. That's what the Constitution is all about.
Let's talk about
it's not a divine document.
the Public Order Act. Can this act be amended without an act in Britain?
No, in fact, it was one of the bills that came before.
As a subsidiary
Yes, as
legislation?
a subsidiary legislation. And I think it was a very progressive bill that came before the National Dialogue Forum. Okay? It deals with issues like if you need to hold an indoor meeting, you don't need to notify. Unlike the situation now, how can somebody say that that is bad law? Then I don't know what they want. Okay. The Electoral Act is supposed to be to come as subsidiary. If you look at the memorandum, to this bill, it deals with the electoral process act. So if the bill to make it difficult for us to deal with the electoral process, and we need to have an electoral process that has the support of everybody as we go towards the 2021 elections, presidential and general elections. So we have to make some progress. Is it 100% progress? Not at all. So I'm appealing to our colleagues on the other side to be magnanimous.
So passing it requires a 3/3 majority.
2/3.
2/3 majority in the House. Can that be attained?
I don't know. I'm not a member of Parliament, but I've appealed to members of Parliament to vote over this matter with their conscience, with the nation at heart, because the constituencies where they come from are composed of members of their political parties and non-members of their political parties whom they still represent. So this is a matter that goes beyond their partisan affiliation. So if they look at it that way, then they'll realize that they have a broader constituency than the constituency of their political parties. And hence my appeal that they must look at it beyond their partisan line.
This is the People's Debate, and I'm talking to the General Secretary of the Rainbow Party, State Council Wynter Kabimba. We're discussing Bill 10, and of course the numbers that should be getting in touch with us, 0950-650-916, as well as 097476-0894. You can also follow this interview live on our Facebook page, which is Pan African Radio 96.1 FM. Now, some people are against the process which was taken to come up with a bill, and others are against the content which they fear once it's enacted, government will have a lot of powers, and the opposition shall be stifled or silenced going forward. Between the process and the content, from your side as Rainbow Party, which one was done correctly or not correct?
Well, I don't want to be judgmental. I don't want to be judgmental because, see, I've participated in both. I've participated in the process, I've participated in the content. Okay? So, we were satisfied with the process as Rainbow Party. We are satisfied with the content of the bill as Rainbow Party.
Is everything okay?
Let me repeat myself. It depends on what you mean by everything. Does Bill 10 bring Jesus, to Zambia? No. So to that extent, it has failed. But does Bill 10 move Zambia a step further beyond the 2016 Constitutional Amendment Act number 2? The answer is yes. One. So we in the Rainbow Party are satisfied with the process. And if you also recall, if you have been following this debate, the people that, let me put it this way, the people on the other side, they started first by the process and said that it was not consultative. I don't know what that means myself. There was over 400 delegates at the NDF. And the representation was cross-cutting our society. So, if by consultation, they mean that they didn't participate in the NDF, yes, then there was no consultation. But if consultation means representation, surely the bill, the genesis of the bill, was anchored on sufficient representation. I can't remember any interest group that was not at the NDA. The church was there, civil society organizations were represented, the unions were represented, the politicians were represented, people living with disabilities were represented, the women were represented, everybody, all the interest groups were represented.
But why do you think some interest groups today have you turned? Because they even made submissions to the select committee.
No, that meant, there's nothing wrong with having a second thought. I wouldn't have a problem myself with somebody who says, this is what I thought yesterday, and today I've changed my mind. I respect their position. The person I don't respect is the one who protests, because a protest is not an argument. But if you come to me and say you have changed your mind today, I have a lot of regard for you. But if you just scream, no, not this, that's not an argument. Okay? So, first they attacked the issue, the process. That was the original argument, consultation. Then they moved from consultation and said the bill itself was bad. They moved to the content. Now, they have moved to the issues of it has lapsed, and that kind of thing. So Each day, they are changing or shifting position. That's why it is difficult to follow their argument. And now they want the bill to be withdrawn. Well, if the majority of those that are in parliament think that the bill should be withdrawn, so be it. But if you ask from our view as Rainbow Party, the process has gone so far, and there's no need to have it withdrawn. Secondly, let me make this point which I've made time and time again. There's no argument, as we hear from those on the other side, that the Zambian people have rejected this bill. They have no evidence whatsoever that those who are saying no to butane are in the majority. No evidence. Just a come a small click in Lusaka. Just come a small click.
Which one is that small click?
Of the opponent, of those that are anti-butane. It's a small
So those who are anti-butane are just in Lusaka?
Invariably. Go to Wapula, go to Mumbwa, you know, and find out if they have been there.
Do you have evidence also that it's only those?
I live in the village one. I've got a farm right in the bush.
Which we know.
Yes.
But does it mean that you have evidence that other people in this country are not?
I don't speak, Caesar, from no facts. As we used to say at school, I don't speak from without. And we thought that was very good English. When you were learning English at school, I don't speak from without, my friend. Okay? So I speak from evidence. I try as I go around to collect facts. I find people don't understand butane, I ask them, if UPND is the presidential election was not fairly determined because of the 14 days. Aren't you happy that that period has been extended to 30 days? Okay. And in the local language, not in English. The more you zoom in, that's manga ni mabo toa. And they will say, mabo to maninga. And ngumanga nayo. And butane ni ngabo to manga ni mabo to maninga. They agree. Okay. If I ask them, ina tamuyandi kuti ibana bakubusi bana bakubuchi bakajoni muni ni mungande amirawo abalo baba bandiga nini maganayo. Okay, and they'll say I magana ali gabutumani. If I go to a lost man and they say to him mukulange amalati kuti ba michaha baba libo na bano fumane yanga manto mwandu amira libo na bano bulelanga zamirawo. And the lost man will say, Makanda, Kimakandama, Amandetwan, or Wynter. So I interact with everybody, not using English, but using the language which they understand. Not only WhatsApp, not only on Facebook, no, but one-on-one.
But I think the Zambian citizen who is completely illiterate has got the correct information about butane.
Yes and no. Okay? Yes, if you speak to them, you communicate with them in the language they understand. No, if you use the social media and claim to reach out to these people. If you take the route of elitism and think that you are communicating to somebody in Mandela, then you are wrong. It's the same argument that I've had even with other programs. I've had programs why you as Pan-African Radio should run adverts about COVID-19 in English only. A borrowed language, a language which was imposed on us by the British. Okay? I have problems with that myself. If you want to reach out to the majority of the people, use vernacular languages. Use local languages. There are very few people in Lusaka who don't understand the Nyanja and the Bemba, even the Lozi. If you change it from one language to another. But you run HIV and AIDS programs in English. You do posters in English. You run COVID-19 even on TV, largely by very difficult and big learning in English, and leave out the majority of the people in terms of communication. That is a problem. We are a third world country. And we must accept that English is not our language. A language represents the objects of your environment. And you derive your concepts from that language. And if you are going to use a language which dominates, in this case English, majority of your people, then you are speaking to yourself.
What's your take on the media in terms of reporting or its reportage on the issue? Are we doing a fair job?
Again, I don't want to be judgmental. You know, the problem that I have with the media is that you only report what X has said, what Y has said, what Z has said. You are not undertaking your own research. You are not undertaking your own research and say to the Zambian people, this is where we are coming from in terms of the content of Constitutional Amendment Act number 2 of 2016. This is where we are in terms of that constitution, and this is what Bill 10 is attempting to achieve. They are not doing that. The media in this country acts as a referee in a football match. Pure offside, pure penalty, pure halftime. That's all that you do. So you have two teams here. Those that are for Bill 10 and those that are against Bill 10. Your job is just to blow the whistle. So today you have Wynter Kabimba coming here. Oh, what do you think about Bill 10? No, Bill 10 is a very good one. Then tomorrow you have another one who comes in. Oh no, Bill 10 is a bad one. Then your day is done. My name is Caesar Sindere. Day finished. And the other day you get another one. So the people remain confused. But if you undertook your own research and took me on and said, but this is where we're coming from, Mr. Kabimba, and this is where we are, and this clause is good, but this one is bad, then the people would be properly informed. That's where I have issues with our media houses. So do a little bit more. And there are also parallels in the world that you can get to. Is a protest an argument? The answer is no.
Should people protest in Zambia when they are good?
Yes. Why not? If it is peaceful, they should protest. The Public Order Act provides for that. Okay? Look at what has happened in the United States. Donald Trump has had to sign an executive order for them to stop pulling down all these statues, these monuments across the country. Because the protests are turning violent. Because the protests, according to him, are distorting the history of the country. Okay? So I have issues myself with people divergent views of other human beings.
we're talking about the Public Order Act. You have spoken about it as well. When a group or somebody wants to protest or demonstrate, they have to notify
The police. Yes.
Is notifying a good thing, or maybe seeking permission, as it were?
No,
by
the act says notify the police. That's what the act says.
And that gives us.
It doesn't say seek permission.
So which one is
After
better? Seeking permission or notifying?
No. After the Mulundika case, the Supreme Court made it clear that in the form it was, which had never changed since independence. We had inherited it from the British administration, colonial administration, was not in line with our democratic tenets. So, if you read the Mulundika case, you find that the Supreme Court was invited to pronounce itself on whether or not in a democracy, the police, you need to get permission from the police rather in order for you to demonstrate peacefully. I must qualify that. And it was the Mulundika case that led to the current Public Order Act.
As Christine Mulundika.
Right. And others. Okay? It was that case that led to the amendments to the Public Order Act in the form in which it is now. So they changed it, that instead of getting a permit from the police, you shall now only notify the police within a period of 7 days, and the police will have to ensure that as you are protesting, you have security from the police so that you are not in harm's way. So there was an improvement from the British inherited the Public Order Act to now. Now we want to move further from that, because we're dealing with the society. So the demands of society will keep on changing. The social conditions will keep on changing. And that's what we are doing. Is that a bad thing? No, it is a good thing. Okay? So those that want to demonstrate peacefully must be allowed to do so.
But have we recorded peaceful demonstrations in the country in recent times, especially after from 2011 to date?
Peaceful demonstration?
Yes, in the country.
Well, I don't know, because the people that have notified the police that they want to demonstrate have been stopped from demonstrating. So the police have given the reasons that they can't demonstrate. Okay? But if I were president myself, I would allow peaceful demonstrations. I would tell the police, allow peaceful demonstrations. They are healthy in a democracy. But maybe the president has his own intelligence information which I'm not privy to, and hence the position that they take. I don't want to talk about things I don't know or I don't have information on.
Right, you are listening to the People's Debate. The phone lines shortly. The numbers are 0950650916 and 0974760894. My studio guest is Rainbow Party General Secretary, State Council Wynter Kabimba, and our discussion is on Bill 10. So feel free to ask a question or make a contribution. Do the same via our Facebook handle, which is Pan African Radio 96.1 FM. Now, if the bill is enacted, right, and we move on as a nation, should we again think of amending the constitution, say in less than 5 years' time?
We can get back to the drawing board, Caesar, and amend the constitution even in less than 5 years, depending on the social conditions. Let me emphasize that. The constitution must respond to the social conditions of the society. That's what it must do. It can't hang in a vacuum. It must govern a situation. A constitution is a document. When you look at it, it tells you what kind of society you are living in now and in the future. That's what it is. That's why it's called the supreme law of the land. So we can amend it even after 1 year, just like we are doing it. We are doing this now. 2016 to 2020 is how many years? 4 years. So we're amending it.
Minister of Justice that time. And
No, wrong history.
What is the correct history?
I was resigned on 28th of August 2014. That's a very important event. You must have that in your diary. I was fired on the 28th of August 2014. So 2016, I was not there.
In 2014, did you have any hand in the Constitution?
Yes, when I was Minister of Justice, I was in charge of intending, over the technical committee on drafting the Zambian Constitution, the annual technical committee. I was Minister of Justice.
Were you satisfied with whatever was gathered regarding the amendment of the Constitution?
Yes, but it was not about it was about the Zambian people. I was just a conveyor belt of the wishes and the demands of the Zambian people over the Constitution.
And you were accused at some point you had to sit on the Constitution. You didn't want to.
Now I can see you have run out of questions.
No.
I was accused of what?
Of sitting on the Constitution. You didn't want to give Zambians the Constitution. The PF promised Zambians that in 3 months.
Well, if you know why are we amending the 2016 Constitution if the fault is mine that I didn't want to give the Zambian people the Constitution? Because this Constitution which is there, I didn't give it to the Zambian people, so to say. It was given to the Zambian people by President Lungu and the team. In fact, I remember President Lungu saying, at one of the press conferences, that now I have a competent minister, meaning you are Simbiakola. I have a competent minister now who is going to deal with this Constitution. Meaning Dr. Simbiakola was more competent than me. I'm not very sure about that, but that's the opinion of President Lungu. And if this is the best for President Lungu and his team, then we haven't seen the West. Okay? Because even they themselves now have realized this is bad law. They themselves, they've realized this is bad law. And indeed it is. So 2016 ban, I was not there.
2014.
Yeah, 2014 I was there. 2016 I was not there. I was registered as one of the unemployed people in this country. The Labour Commission. Okay? So let's make progress.
So going forward, what is your word of appeal to the general populace in this country regarding the 10? I know
I've said that the people must be given or must have access to information. For those that can't read and write English, they must ask those that are canvassing issues in English to please speak to them in the languages that they understand, in vernacular. Okay? I know that some of the concepts are difficult to translate in vernacular. But I gave you an example a few moments ago, how you can actually speak to people in vernacular to make them understand. So I think access to what this animal called butane is all about and the information surrounding it is extremely important. And I see that many people, even as I drive around in the countryside, don't have the correct information. Some of them just don't even have the information. Okay? Just like they just hear about the coronavirus. They are very limited information. There are still our people that believe that if you suffer from coronavirus, it's not coronavirus, you have just been bewitched. That kind of misunderstanding. There are people that think that what is this butane? We need to make my life any different from. So, access to the substance of what on the bandwagon of this aeroplane called butane.
Information of legislation which has been enacted. Would you want it to be enacted now?
Which one is this?
The access to information bill, the executive bill, which is has taken long to be passed.
Well, I don't know what has happened, but I'll tell you that when I was Minister of Justice, the of that bill, and I was frightened. Okay, look, let me tell you this: we must legislate or originate legislation which responds to our social conditions. We can't legislate because the donors say legislate and we shall give you money. We can't legislate by copying, what do you call it? Copy and paste. By copying and pasting. We must think through what will be the consequences, what will be the ramifications of this piece of legislation. Now, the Freedom to Information Bill is being agitated or advocated for by donors. Don't we learn surely as a country? Look at what they did with the Lands Act of 1995, which has caused so many problems for us. And they said to the government of President Chiluba then, if you don't pass, first, if you don't repeal the Land Conversion of Titles Act of 1975 and replace it with this bill, which they themselves had drafted, the World Bank said we shall not give you any money. And I remember the resistance against that bill. But because we are poor, it was passed. And the consequences are disastrous for this country. You will not be there, but you'll be turning in your grave because your grandchildren will be buying land from foreign nationals in this country at prices that they won't even afford. We are creating an apartheid system, the system that we helped South Africa fight against. The elite now are busy displacing the fellows in the village, driving them from fertile land because they can waive a certificate of title. That's what is happening. That's what may happen with the Freedom of Information Bill. Don't we learn, who has bewitched us? Where are those prophets, that scream to the high heavens that, they are prophets and they speak to God, they have a straight channel to God, and they exchange text messages with God every day? Where are they who don't warn us that this is bad for our country?
So is that bill relevant? Should we?
Not as at now. It may be relevant in the United States, it may be relevant in the United Kingdom, it is certainly not relevant to Zambia. The South Africans that have a larger economy than ours have failed to pass it. They have been cautious. They have been struggling with it. Who has bewitched us? Kunuwa law. And everything that comes in from outside, you must just copy and paste. No, one. One of the things that I thank Michael Sata for, even as he fired me, is that he gave me the privilege to serve in the government. He gave me the privilege, to travel abroad as minister. And I know exactly how this world is constructed. Nobody can lie to me. Nobody can lie to me. Very difficult for anybody to lie to me. Doesn't matter where they come from. I spend time to read so that nobody lies to me. So that I don't become a victim of somebody because of ignorance. So, it may be a good piece of legislation, but definitely not for now. I submit.
Let's get your views on the program. The topic of discussion is Constitution Amendment Bill number 10 of 2019, and my guest is Rainbow Party General Secretary Wynter Kabimba. Feel free to come through. The phone lines are open, and also you can send your comment or question via our Facebook page, Pan African Radio 96.1 FM, and be brief, stick to what we have for discussion, and above all, do not use inflammatory language as you come through. So we officially open the lines and come through. We discuss. Whilst waiting for our callers, there are people that have been pushing for the same access to information bill to be enacted as soon as possible. Yeah. Mostly they are civil society organizations and even political parties.
That's a problem, Caesar. That's a problem. I say this. Isn't this ironic? That you have civil society organizations that are called non-governmental organizations, and yet they are sponsored by foreign government. But they are non-governmental. How do you become non-governmental when your funding is coming from a foreign government? Okay? Let me give you this example. The Zambia Center for Inter-Party Dialogue, which has its prototypes, scattered all over Africa, okay, was set up by the Netherlands government. So the Netherlands government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, set up an NGO called the Institute. You follow? So the Treasury, Netherlands Treasury, gives money to NDI. No, it gives money to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs gives money to NDI, which is a Dutch institute. NDI gives money to ZCID. How can you call ZCID an NGO when its financing is coming from an institute which is an appendage of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in the Netherlands? Just tell me one NGO. Just tell me one NGO in this country which has independent financing, which is not being financed by a foreign government. Tell me just one. There's none.
But
and yet we are told, no, leave these, these are non-governmental organizations. What nonsense is that? And somehow we believe it. And who told you that a guy can give money to an NGO for free without trying to manipulate that NGO in line with their agenda? Who told you that there is one? Let's open up our eyes. So when you tell me about civil society organizations. These are fellows, that tell us, no, you must have elections. Go to some of these NGOs. They were established. But they're happy with them. They keep on giving them money. What is wrong with an African? What is wrong with my race? Huh? Why are we so gullible? That, it is very easy for us to have our mind manipulated. Very easily.
You are talking about NGOs being sponsored by...
Yes.
Yes, but do we have those that are sponsored by government?
No, that's why they are called NGOs. We are told they are non-governmental organizations, so they are not supposed to be sponsored by government. The only country that has tried to walk away from that is Ethiopia. You know what they have done in Ethiopia? They have said all foreign-sponsored NGOs can only do charity work. Here, all the NGOs are parallel political parties. That's what the only country walk away from that ideology of civil society. So, Bwana, this world is constructed in a way, that unless you have an extra sense, you won't see what is going on even in your own house. You need to develop an extra sense, and you do that by having access. I thought that now that there are computers, there is internet, there is Google, we are going to be wiser than we were after independence. Okay? There is a story in South Africa where these students at at the University of Johannesburg formed a cultural group to promote their culture. And one of the things they were doing, reed dancing. You know reed dancing? Like the one that they do in Swaziland. Okay? They dance with or exposing their breasts. Google put that down and said, you are dancing naked. But we are happy to see white women at a beach with just like a string, a G-string. And that is not nakedness. Come on. A G-string. And that's not nakedness. So they are determining, they are telling us what is nakedness and what isn't. And what is nakedness is according to their society. What is wrong with our people? And they put that down. And these girls went and protested at the Google offices in Johannesburg. They told them, you have no right to encroach on our culture and tell us what to do. This is our culture. Okay? Just here in Chongwe, a chieftain's commercials, Chabela Makumbi, the young girls now cannot, they have to cover their breasts. Because NGOCC went to call chieftain's commercial and say, these girls are dancing naked. They have been told by the sponsors. Nonsense.
You insist some NGOs are sponsored by...
All of them, just tell me one which is not sponsored.
How about those who are opposed to Bill 10? What's your view about them?
No. I'm not passing any judgment against anybody, Caesar. I'm just telling you the broad spectrum of this world. I'm not passing judgment against anybody. They are free, to receive money. But if they pretend that that money they are receiving is a free lunch, then they are wrong. That's my submission. Right. That's simply my submission. If they think that that is free lunch, wrong.
We seem to have a technical challenge with the phone lines, but
No, you are doing very well. Let's continue.
We continue talking
Yes.
about Wynter.
Yes.
Right. But it seems like you get agitated maybe if I ask you another question.
No. About what? Ask any question.
No, just about Wynter. We'll just take a short break and then we'll be coming back. The people trying to continue. We have State Council Wynter Kabimba in the studio. We just take a break. We'll be back and continue the program. There's a challenge with the line.
Yeah, network.
Network is bad. So, because we have about, this is 11:34. The line is kind of, we wanted to get feedback.
Yeah, there's a question. There's a question here. See, I asked him which clause supports the women and the.
Maybe let me get down there.
Yeah, which clause in Bill 10?
Which clause in Bill 10?
Which supports women and the youth?
In Bill 10, which supports women
and the youths.
and youths.
Yes.
Okay. There's another one?
No, I think that was it.
Okay. You respond to this, then I'm sure. Yeah. No. I think it's also good. We also wanted to go out.
Oh, yes.
Network is bad today. But the
It's a fight.
yes.
That's fine. You see what I did? I started replying. Lance started replying. Now everyone has joined. Now, yes. Our members now they started replying now.
We have bad network
Code.
for the phone. For calls.
Yes, it's dropping entirely.
So you can see some. You see, we have already 10 missed calls, but they are not coming through. It's terrible.
I was waiting this talking. That's the problem with the break off with break like here. So
The position is not okay.
No, the position is fine.
I wear a headset.
Yes.
see like that.
It's fine.
Mostly, I'm sure my eyes were not closed. They are closed, eh? Yeah, I know, I'm very camera shy. Let me try.
But busy posting.
I think the best way to capture me is when it's there. Because I'm camera shy. Yeah, you can get 10. I'll still close my eyes.
He's from the village. Yeah.
I hope that's
so
one.
you need when he's talking like he's not aware, then you can.
When I'm aware, I will just close. I don't know why. This should change. So we'll just ask this question and continue. Perhaps we can have some 1 or 2 calls. Network is really bad. How I wish talking about the breasts